Israel now faces the very real prospect of a multi-front war. And the rest of the world can only watch and hope that that doesn't happen.
Netanyahu, he spoke earlier on television to the country, and he said that some Palestinian militants are still inside Israel and that the airstrikes against Gaza are just the beginning of a larger operation. He vowed earlier that his country's response to the attacks would, quote, change the Middle East.
Israeli tanks gather in fields outside Gaza. After the violent incursion and terrorist attacks by militant group Hamas, hundreds of thousands of Israeli army reservists answered the call to arms.
We are imposing a complete siege on Gaza. There will be no electricity, no food, no water, no fuel. Everything will be closed. We are fighting against human animals, and we are acting accordingly.
Hospitals in Gaza are already feeling the effects of the blockade. They're running out of critical supplies to treat the many injured by the ongoing strikes.
Unfortunately, the amount of medical supplies we need to deal with these injuries is insufficient. There just isn't enough, and some of the medicines are not available in the stores of the Ministry of Health. There's also the threat of running out of fuel and a power outage. Medical operations cannot be performed in emergency departments without fuel or electricity.
Israel says it is targeting facilities and headquarters of Hamas and jihad terrorist groups, but hundreds of civilians are being hit by the missile offensive across Gaza. Israel says the borders with Gaza will stay tightly closed, reinforced by tanks, while soldiers scour the south for Hamas fighters. But the rocket fire continues into Israel. And so does the aerial bombardment of the Gaza Strip. And Israel's Prime Minister says this is just the beginning.
I know that we all want immediate results. It will take time, but I promise you, dear Israeli citizens, at the end of this campaign, all of our enemies will know that it was a grave mistake to attack Israel. What we will do to our enemies in the coming days will reverberate with them for generations.
Fearing further infiltration by militants, Israel is also deploying troops and tanks along its northern border with Lebanon, shelling the area as they try to push back the threat. Hezbollah have been responding in kind.